Crosstrek traditionally stands as one of the best subcompact crossovers on the market. It's comfortable, easy to drive, off-road capable, and quite practical. But what about the drawbacks and design flaws that may look like a deal breaker to some of us? Today we're taking a look at the Subaru Crosstrek's negative sides. 6 reasons why you should not buy one. Number 6. Underpowered base engine. The Crosstrek is an impressive small crossover in so many ways, but its base engine definitely isn't among the things to like. Because the standard Crosstrek comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that puts out no more than 152 horsepower. Moreover, its CVT gearbox seems not to deliver the full amount of that modest power to its wheels, so as a result, the overall performance is far from great. With this engine, the Crosstrek needs nearly 10 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, and that definitely isn't quick enough by modern standards. Still, the good thing about this engine is that despite the underwhelming performance, the overall fuel economy is actually really good, especially if we consider the standard all-wheel drive. In numbers, that would be around 27 mpg in the city and 34 mpg on the highway. Thankfully, things are much better with the optional 2.5-liter flat 4, which puts out 182 horsepower and provides notably better performance. 0 to 60 takes a bit over 8 seconds, and while that's much quicker compared to the base engine, the thing is that there's still many rivals that feature much notably quicker acceleration and overall performance. As for fuel economy, the bigger engine returns similar ratings to the base engine, around 27 miles per gallon in the city and 33 mpg on the highway, so altogether, we could say that the optional 2.5-liter engine is a better option. Number 5. Cheap-looking interior. Like a typical Subaru, the Crosstrek doesn't shine when it comes to interior quality. Yes, this crossover is very practical, with a spacious and comfortable cabin and lots of small storage compartments. Moreover, the amount of cargo space is pretty decent too. It offers around 20 cubic feet behind the second row and a quite generous 54.7 cubic feet with the second row folded down, which is very good when compared to key rivals. But like a typical Subaru, the Crosstrek is rather about functionality than style. And as an entry-level crossover, it seems even more basic than an average Subaru SUV like the Forester and Outback. The cabin looks a bit bland, though the screens and other tech features make things a bit more interesting. Besides the basic dashboard design, we could also mention that most areas are covered with hard plastics and color schemes aren't particularly inspiring. But still, we can't say that the build quality is bad. It may not be soft to the touch, but the Crosstrek's materials feel really solid and durable, while the way everything's assembled feels just right. So, altogether, the Crosstrek may not be the nicest around, but it's durable and functional when it comes to the overall cabin design, and to be honest, we actually like its utilitarian nature. Number 4. Sound insulation. Here comes another typical Subaru, or better say, Japanese manufacturer issue. Subaru may be ahead of the competition in the way that it offers more in terms of drivetrain and its legendary all-wheel drive system. It also comes with more standard equipment than most rivals, while we've already established that although materials are mostly hard to the touch, the cabin's actually built very well. But problems start once you get this crossover moving, because it turns out there's a lot of noise coming into the cabin. At lower speeds, and especially if you use all-season or winter tires, things like tire and road noise can be pretty excessive. Once you get to higher speeds, you face another kind of problem, in the way that there's a lot of noise coming from the wind. Finally, there's the engine noise. Don't get us wrong, boxer engines are generally pretty quiet, but the problem with the Crosstrek is that the engine comes coupled with a CVT gearbox, which isn't particularly refined and can make the engine pretty loud if you're heavy on the throttle pedal. But to be perfectly clear, all these things are a bit annoying, but it's not like the cabin's so loud that you can't drive normally. Subaru owners will find it quite typical. The bigger problem may be for those who are switching from some premium product that puts more focus on refinement and sound deadening. For traditional Subaru owners and anyone coming from another mainstream subcompact, things would work just fine. Number 3. Lackluster tech features. Tech features have always been Subaru's weak point, and the current model is no exception. When it comes to infotainment, base models use a pretty basic-looking 7-inch infotainment screen, which still uses wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration. Things are a bit better in higher trim levels, which come equipped with an 11.6-inch touchscreen and wireless smartphone integration, but once again, the screen graphics aren't particularly great and the icons look a bit cartoonish, not to mention that the screen response is slow by today's standards. All in all, we could say that it feels like a generation or even two older compared to the most advanced infotainments on the market. Audiophiles would not be happy with the sound system, because most variants of the crossover come with no more than 6 speakers. But it's not just about the number of speakers. The sound quality is not particularly particularly great, and there's a notable absence of a proper bass tone, which altogether results in a situation where the system can hardly overcome the vehicle's poor sound insulation. Practically, the only way to get sound quality that's good enough is to opt for the Harman Kardon Premium Audio system, but the problem is that this system is available only as an option in the limited trim or higher. Still, not all things about the Crosstrek's tech side are bad. For example, the SUV is very generous with safety features, with a list of standard equipment including goodies like adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, and many more. Things don't stop there, as higher trims also unlock more advanced systems such as blind spot warning with rear cross traffic assist, evasive steering assistance, and rear automatic emergency braking. Number 2. Unrefined transmission. When Subaru introduced the current generation Crosstrek, many of us were disappointed with the decision to drop the manual and keep the CVT only, because the stick was the better of the two, at least when it comes to performance and driving engagement. Now with the CVT as the only option on offer, the Crosstrek feels a bit handicapped in our eyes, because that CVT is far from the most refined gearbox around. Yes, it's quite reliable and more durable than most transmissions of this kind, but refinement isn't its thing, as the engine can be pretty loud when you're pushing the car hard. In this situation, the engine remains stuck at higher RPMs, while the simulated gear changes don't work particularly great either. Finally, it looks like the CVT limits the engine's full potential, as it feels that the overall performance, particularly the acceleration, would be much better with some other type of transmission, one that ensures much better power delivery to the wheels. This way, the Crosstrek is far from the most engaging model in the class to drive, which is a shame if we consider some pretty impressive features, including 8.7 inches of ground clearance and an excellent all-wheel drive system. Number 1. Hybrid on the way. Finally, one of the main reasons why you should not buy a Crosstrek right now is because some very interesting novelties are about to come next year. If the Crosstrek is your subcompact crossover of choice, then our recommendation is to wait another year to get an electrified version. That's right, Subaru is developing a completely new hybrid system, and it'll be the most capable in the lineup. With a strong technical partnership with Toyota, many assume that Subaru might use Toyota's hybrid system just like Mazda did with the CX-50. But Subaru's always been known for doing things in its own unique way, so there's no way it would just borrow a system from Toyota. Instead, it'll stick to its key postulates, starting from the fact that the system will be based on a 2.5-liter Boxer engine. With the help of an electric motor and a 1.1 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the combined output will go all the way up to 194 horsepower, which will make it the most powerful Crosstrek on the market and therefore the quickest one. Another important aspect of Subaru's hybrid system is the drivetrain, because this one won't use electric all-wheel drive, with the additional electric motor mounted on the rear axle. No, Subaru will keep doing things in its own way with a traditional prop shaft and consistent power delivery to all wheels, which will ensure superior traction and off-road potential. With a genuine all-wheel drive system and 194 horsepower, we can count on pretty quick acceleration, while the hybrid system should also ensure superior MPG ratings when compared to gas-only variants. At the same time, the Crosstrek Hybrid will remain reasonably priced, with the price tag going around $30,000, which will certainly be one of its strong selling points. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.